Rain tapped against the windows of a dimly lit newsroom as aviation journalist Daniel Mercer reviewed decades of airline records. What began as a routine investigation soon turned into something unusual. One flight number kept appearing throughout aviation history. Flight 914 surfaced in a 1987 emergency diversion report, a 1996 security incident, a 2008 passenger disappearance, and a 2017 emergency descent. Different airlines, different countries, different decades. Yet the same number returned again and again. Most flight numbers are eventually retired and forgotten, the narrator said. But one number kept resurfacing in case after case, leaving investigators with a question no one could answer. Daniel contacted aviation historian Elaine Ward, who initially dismissed the pattern as coincidence. Airlines regularly recycle flight numbers, she explained, yet Daniel noticed something strange. Several reports connected to Flight 914 contained missing pages, incomplete findings, or investigations that ended without clear conclusions. The more he searched, the more unsettling the pattern became. Determined to find answers, Daniel assembled a team of researchers. Together, they uncovered a timeline stretching across decades. In 1987, a Flight 914 diverted after an onboard security scare. In 1996, a passenger vanished between airport security and boarding. In 2008, authorities discovered an undocumented traveler aboard a Flight 914 whose identity appeared nowhere on the manifest. In 2017, another Flight 914 made an emergency descent after unexplained cockpit warnings. Viewed separately, each case seemed unrelated. Viewed together, the similarities became difficult to ignore. Former airline employee Mark Reynolds recalled hearing quiet conversations among operations staff. People joked about the number, he said. Management didn't like discussing it. The investigation deepened when researchers discovered a forgotten case from 1979 involving a classified internal review. It appeared to be the earliest known appearance of Flight 914 and possibly the starting point of the entire mystery. Data analysts mapped every known occurrence of the flight number across 40 years. Patterns emerged. Many flights operated through major international hubs. Several incidents involved last-minute operational changes. Certain airline consultants, administrators, and investigators appeared repeatedly throughout different cases. Retired accident investigator Susan Keller reviewed archive files and noticed an important connection. The flight number wasn't moving through history alone, she explained. The same procedures, decisions, and people kept appearing beside it. Journalists uncovered witness statements omitted from public reports. A former airport security supervisor revealed that some anomalies had never been fully investigated. Analysts then discovered references to a sealed report that had never been released to the public. The document was linked to the original 1979 incident. After months of searching, investigators finally obtained portions of the report. Its contents changed the direction of the investigation. The report revealed that a major security incident involving Flight 914 in 1979 had exposed weaknesses in airline procedures and airport operations. Rather than publicly addressing every failure, officials quietly introduced internal reforms while limiting outside scrutiny. The report referenced missing evidence, conflicting testimony, and administrative decisions designed to prevent public alarm. The recurring number was never the true mystery, the narrator explained. Flight 914 had repeatedly been assigned to routes operating within interconnected networks shaped by the same institutional decisions. Many later incidents involved personnel, procedures, and policies that could be traced back to the aftermath of the 1979 event. Former airline executive Richard Hale eventually agreed to speak. "We weren't hiding a curse," he said. "We were avoiding embarrassment." Investigators realized the number itself was not causing the incidents. Instead, it had become the thread connecting a series of overlooked investigations scattered across decades. Yet one problem remained. Several critical records referenced throughout the investigation were still missing, and nobody could explain where they had gone. As the investigation reached its conclusion, experts agreed that the evidence pointed toward a practical explanation rather than anything supernatural. Flight 914 continued appearing because airlines repeatedly assigned the number to similar high-volume routes managed within related operational systems. The incidents were connected through people, procedures, administrative choices, and investigative failures, not by the number itself. Even so, important questions remained unanswered. Some researchers believe the pattern was nothing more than coincidence amplified by human pattern recognition. Others argue that Flight 914 repeatedly served routes where incidents were statistically more likely. Another theory suggested that decades of investigative failures created a chain of overlooked connections. A final possibility remained that missing records still concealed information capable of changing the entire story. Daniel reviewed the final known case involving Flight 914 and reflected on the investigation. Even today, aviation researchers continue debating its significance. Some see coincidence. Others see a warning about institutional memory and forgotten mistakes. Every incident left a trace. Every investigation left unanswered questions. And every unanswered question became part of a larger pattern hidden within aviation history. As the screen faded to black and distant airport radio transmissions echoed to the darkness, a final image appeared. Flight 914, still active. The narrator delivered the documentary's final words. Sometimes mysteries are not hidden in what happened. They're hidden in the connections nobody noticed until it's almost too late.